I would like to talk today a little bit about happiness, our desires, and how these two relate to the spiritual path. As you probably know all too well, in most spiritual religious traditions, desires are at best, they try to condition them, they try to divide them in good desires and bad desires. And many spiritual traditions, they take a bad view, dim view on desires and fulfilling desires. Many times they say that desires are bad, you need to cancel your desires, you need to at best redirect these desires. And I say no, that is totally wrong. Happiness is very much related to how you fulfill your desires. On the path of life, our satisfaction, how we feel about ourselves, is directly related to the kind of desires you have and how you fulfill them. So if you want to go, if you want to get a degree from a university, or you would like to meditate somewhere in Himalayan cave, or you would like to travel around the world, or if you would like to learn Swahili or Chinese or Turkish, all of these desires, when you fulfill them, you feel a sense of satisfaction. You have done something. And that helps you with feeling a certain degree of happiness in your life. Now, the tricky part about this, of course, is that as you fulfill your desires, your perspective on yourself and others and the world changes. So if you want to have a girlfriend or get married, after you do that, you will see that your view of the world will change. You will develop new kind of perspectives, new kind of desires. And what happens many times is that at certain moment in our life, we get too settled in our married life, or our, we get a nice house like what I've got, and it's difficult to fulfill new desires because you're too stuck with settled with the desires that you have already fulfilled, and you don't know how to change. You don't know how to move on. And that is something that requires a certain kind of dynamism in our life to continue fulfilling desires and continuing to follow your heart as your desires change, as perspective on your world and your inner world and outer world changes. So here we come to the two spiritual practices. There are actually three kinds of spiritual practices, but let's talk about the two. These are the easiest to think about. So one is insight type of meditation. This is when you look at yourself and your environment as well, and see whether to see who you really are and what you really want. And it doesn't have to be necessarily a sitting meditation. You can go for a walk in the forest. You can come and sit by a lake, like I'm doing right here. I'm on Lake Erie here. Here we're in a small gulf near Erie, Pennsylvania. I like to be by the water. You can go for a meditation retreat if you want to have a little bit of intensity. I'm all for retreats, but I'm not too fond of intensity, because many times it just forces you to have certain desires that you really don't have, and then you will have to figure out what you have done to yourself. I'm one of those people who likes to do safe practices, who likes to teach people safe practices, in the sense that everything that you get to slowly with patience, I think is better than having some kind of peak experience or some kind of dramatic oh my god experience, like jumping off off an airplane in a parachute, with a parachute. So the second kind of meditation is a visualization kind of meditation. This is where, and I'm going to do another a video about this. So visualization meditation, this is where you visualize how your life, how you want to be. Means you are not there now, but you want to pretend that you are there. A lot of tantric meditation practices are sacralized, codified, formalized form of that. Like, you pretend that you are a Buddha or your guru or some kind of Hindu god, or you stare at a cross in a church or something like that. These are practices that help you visualize, help you somehow synchronize your inner vibe with where you want to be. So like if you're poor, you can imagine that you're rich. No, you're not rich, but you will kind of acculturate yourself to the idea that, you know, you don't have to run all the time trying to earn money or something like that. Or if you are worried about an exam and you're worried about how successful you will be from this exam, you can visualize yourself already passing exam, preparing for exam, and being in front of professor or whatever who is going to take this exam from you, who is going to facilitate that examination. Or in case you want to be a super spiritual, amazing person with occult powers, you can imagine flying through the mountains like Milarepa did, 800, 900 years ago. And it will let you receive a certain kind of blessing from that vibration. I'm on purpose using a religious language because many times when people say that you're going to get blessed, really what they're talking about is that you're going to receive a certain kind of positive energy from that saint or from that guru or from that vibration or from that practice, like that. So I think that's going to be enough for now. I'm sure we're going to talk about this again and again. Please do subscribe. I'm a good person, trying to be. I'll visualize that I'm a good person. Please like the video, again, because I'm a good person. I visualize that I'm a good person, I'm a good person. And thank you very much for watching. Have a good one and goodbye.